All right, let's dive into something that honestly trips up pretty much every English learner: ordering food and drinks. It sounds so simple, right? But one tiny grammar point can make it surprisingly stressful. Well, today we're going to nail this for good.
You know the feeling, right? We've all been there. You're at the front of the line, the barista's looking at you, and your mind just goes totally blank. Wait, is it a water or some water? That little moment of panic is exactly what we're here to eliminate forever. And look, it's so easy to see why we make these mistakes. In a lot of other languages, saying something like a rices makes perfect sense. But in English, yeah, it doesn't quite fly. We're about to break down exactly why the phrases on the right are correct so you can walk up to that counter and order like a pro. Okay, so where do we even begin with this? Well, it all boils down to what I like to call the noun dilemma. I know it sounds a little dramatic, but trust me, understanding this one simple concept is the master key to unlocking this whole grammar puzzle. And this is really the heart of it all. Seriously, the whole game of using some, any, and an an all hangs on just two different types of nouns. Once you can spot the difference between them, I promise, everything else just clicks right into place. So what are they? Drum roll, please. Countable versus uncountable nouns. That's it. Once you've got these two categories down, you're pretty much all the way there. Let's dig into what makes them different. All right, first up, let's tackle the easy ones. Countable nouns. I mean, the name kind of gives it away, doesn't it? If you can put a number in front of it, 1 apple, 2 cars, 3 friends, yep, it's countable. They have a singular form for when there's just one, and a plural form for when there's more. Simple as that. So it's super straightforward. You can have an apple for one, or 3 apples for more than one, a car or 2 cars. We just use a or an for the singular, and usually just pop an s on the end to make it plural. Easy enough? Okay, now for the other team, uncountable nouns. These are the things you can't really separate and count one by one. The best way to think about them is as a single mass, a substance, or a concept. You just wouldn't say 1 water or 2 rices, right? It just sounds weird. We treat it all as one big unit. A really good trick here is to think in groups. You've got your liquids, like water and milk. You've got your powders and grains, like rice and sugar. And then you have the abstract stuff, like money and time. You don't have 3 monies in your wallet, right? You have some money. It's that kind of thinking. All right, you with me? We've got our 2 teams, Team Countable and Team Uncountable. Now it's time to introduce the words that play with them, our superstars for today, some and any. Okay, if you remember just one thing from this whole explainer, make it this. This is the golden rule. It's so simple. We use some for positive or yes sentences, and we use any for negative or no sentences and for questions. Let's see how that actually plays out. And check this out. This pattern works for both types of nouns, which is awesome. Positive sentence, I have some bananas. But if you don't, I don't have any bananas. Same thing goes for the uncountables like milk. There is some milk, but the question becomes, is there any milk? See that pattern? It's really, really consistent. Okay, but English, it just loves to have a few exceptions to the rule, doesn't it? So let's get into the slightly trickier situations. These are the pro tips that'll have you sounding supernatural in no time. So here it is, the one big exception you gotta remember. We just said we use any for questions, right? Well, most of the time. But when that question is actually an offer to someone or a request for yourself, we throw that rule out the window and go right back to using some. Let me show you exactly what I mean. If you ask, do you have any coffee? You're just asking a general question, checking if it exists. But if you want to offer it to your friend, you say, would you like some coffee? Or if you're the one asking for it, can I have some water, please? See that difference? It's a small change, but it's all about being polite. And here is my absolute favorite pro tip. I call it the container trick, and it's a total game changer. So how do you count something you can't count? Easy. You count the container it's in. You can't count water, but you can totally count a bottle of water. You can't count pizza, but you can definitely count a slice of pizza. This little hack makes ordering specific amounts so much easier. Okay, you ready for a quick pop quiz? Let's see if you've got it. How would you fill in the blank here? Is there Dindra cheese in the fridge? Think about our main rule. What kind of sentence is this? And the answer is any. Is there any cheese? You got it. It's just a regular general question, so we stick with the main rule.
Awesome job.
All right, round 2. This one's a little trickier, so pay close attention. Can I have water, please? What do you think goes there? What's really happening in the sentence? Yes, it's some. And why? Because this isn't just a question, it's a request. You're asking for something. That is our big exception rule in action. You're nailing this.
Whew, okay, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's wrap it all up with a nice, neat summary. Think of this as your personal cheat sheet, or maybe your grammar shopping list. Everything you need to remember all in one place. And here it is, the whole thing in a nutshell. Look how clear that pattern is. It doesn't matter if it's countable or uncountable, it's some for the positive stuff and any for the negative stuff and for most questions. Just remember to keep that one little exception for offers and requests tucked away in your back pocket. This is the one to save. And that's it. The noun dilemma solved. You literally have all the tools you need now to handle countable nouns, uncountable nouns, some and any with total confidence. Say goodbye to that freezing up moment at the checkout counter. So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. The very next time you're out, maybe at a cafe or a restaurant, I want you to think, what can I order using the word some? Think about it and then go out there and put your new skills to the test. You've totally got this.